Rightio, so I'm going to go through the process today using the gloves. I'm going to take them off in a couple of occasions where I can. Sometimes I'll make the statement, I can take them off now, but I choose to leave them on just so you guys are aware. It does slow things down. We've done a few things in the assessment to speed things up. Did have the glove man arranged, but I mucked up the email. So we've got our insulated gloves and our leather outers. The insulated gloves, we need to check them before we use them. We're going to do a couple of checks. We're going to stretch test around the cuff looking for any cracks on both gloves. And we'll do a roll test and roll them up nice and tight and see that our fingers all full of air, no leaks, no visible cracks, they're holding their air, no dramas, good enough to use. My leather outers are just going to get a visual inspection. Yeah, they're clean enough, they're in good nick, there's no rips, no tears. These things, the glove man tells me, are purpose designed to wear over the top of these. They're sized accordingly. The stitching in them is made of nylon, and it's made so if you do happen to slip and you have an arc blast there in front of you and at your hands, the stitching will hold. Once the arc is dissipated, the glove should fall off either side, so you're not dealing with hot leather, melting gloves, quick to get off. Okay, so they're designed for that. Don't go use them as your gardening gloves on the weekend. Keep them clean, keep them for the purpose they're made for. So that's checking out the gloves. So I've wandered in. What's one of the first things we do grab the IR tester. We've done a test and checked it on a 1 ohm and a 1 meg ohm resistor to make sure it's accurate enough for the candidate to use in the assessment. As Sue says, there's no traps in that. Is it right? Yes? No? Danger tags. Danger tags. Now I'm not going to stop and write on the tags, but we'll generally have a photocopy copy of a danger tag. A student needs to fill that out prior to use, and that's the one we can keep in the file as our evidence. These ones will just get utilised. So what are the 4 things I need on the danger tag? Name, date, what I'm doing, and a contact number. So they're the 4 key things we really need to see on there. Their name can be signed or printed. So I think I'm about ready to start. Got everything laid out. Made it nice and easy, so we've got the switchboard nice and close here. Most assessment venues it isn't quite so close. Okay, before I start, I've done my danger tag, I've done a bit of writing down. Sorry, I've grabbed my right JSA, I've grabbed one for the hot water service today. So this is all pre-assessment, and I've ticked yes and yes. And do I need safety glasses? No, I don't. I've got to wear these glasses though, so I can see, and I'll sign and date that document. That'll be tucked away with my JSA out the road. There's a few other bits of information candidate needs to collect along the way. I can get some of that right now. What are the things we need to get? I need to get the appliance details. I don't need much there. 230 volts, 3.6 kilowatts, and 15.7 amps. That's all I can get at this stage, and I'll keep recording the rest of the stuff as we go along. Rightio, I did want to have a quick check first. I'm going to do this before I start. The gloves need to go on any time I'm testing for potential live situation. So what I've got to do is do me checks on my gloves. I know they just passed it, so I'll just do it quickly. Yep, beautiful. They're looking good. Okay, so I'm going to glove up because I'm going to grab my voltmeter and start doing some testing. Get the right hand in the right glove. Gloves on. Right, I'm going to get my voltmeter. I'm going to turn it on. Grab the leads. This is one, I hate this one. I need to get it on AC. I'm going to just quickly check my power point to make sure my meter's working. And I've clearly got 241 volts active to neutral, active to earth there. I'm going to test from my earth on my socket outlet to the frame in a couple of spots. 0 volts there, 0 volts there, 0 volts there. Retest my meter, 240. So I know the frame at this stage is right for me to touch. I'm going to grab my IR tester and do one other test. Check my battery, beautiful, it's still good. 3 ohms. Make sure that's working. Fix the 0 up. And I'm going to do a quick test from my earth on my socket outlet to that frame of that appliance. And I'm looking for something nice and close to 0. That's reading 0.0 something. It's really close to 0. A couple of spots that I've just checked. Bang on 0. Close enough to 0. So I now know it doesn't matter whether I had the isolator in the on position, the off position, the motor, the start button's been pressed or not pressed. I've tested, oh damn it, I didn't have the isolator on. Oh well, I can turn that on. Doesn't matter. I've made sure if that point was faulty, it's now safe to touch. So I'm ready to go. I've got my appliance details. I'm going to lay out my danger tags, get them in position ready. I'm going to stick one here at the hot water service. I'll leave one here at the isolator, and I'm going to keep one with my padlock ready to go. Get that sitting close to the switchboard. And lock dog. I've changed lock dogs. This type, it's got a little thumb wheel on it. Somebody's done it all the way up. It's actually not too bad to do with the gloves on. So, whereas trying to deal with the old school one with the terminal driver, trying to do that up with the gloves on is a nightmare. So, gone with those ones. Right, so I've got my danger tags out. I need to check, does the supply exist at the appliance? Is there power there? Is it live? I'm going to pop open my junction box. Get my meter. Stay there. Check my meter. 237. I can go through the whole process. 237 on the active. I should have 0 on the neutral. I should have 0 on the earth. I can do my active to earth. I can do my active to neutrals, 240 as well, and do my neutral to earth. So I've done the full testing process, but I really didn't have to. Just double check my meter's working. Yes, she is. Getting stuck. So I know that appliance is live. I need to cover it up, can't walk away. Where'd that screwdriver go? Nice, quick, easy, quarter turn jobs to do this back up. Right, so I'm going to go off to the switchboard and I'm going to pick on a circuit. I am labelled. So I've got my main isolator, I've got a power, I've got hot water and a hot water. Damn it, I don't know which one it is. Somebody has done a real good job labelling this. Number 2. So, yeah, I'm going to turn off number 1. Now, I could have taken the gloves off now, but I chose to leave them on. I'm going to leave them on for as long as I can. I'm going to lock number 1 out, number 2 out. Nice and secure. Grab my padlock and my danger tag, and I'm going to lock that out, and I'm going to, in this case, keep the key in my pocket. I can lock it back in my toolbox. And come back over here, open the junction box and see if I've got the right circuit breaker. Grab my meter, test my meter. 237 to the active, 237 volts, it's still live. I've tested everything else, I've got the wrong breaker, so I'll cover him back up. Get my key out. Don't need the room keys. Undo my lock dog. Turn that one on. Turn this one off. Lock him out. Tuck my key away. Let's go check if we've got the right one this time. Hopefully I have, because there's none left on the board to deal with. Right leads. Test the meter. 240. Earth to active, I'm getting 0. So into the full testing, earth to neutral, 0 volts, earth to earth, 0 volts, between all, active to earth, 0 volts, active to neutral, 0 volts, and neutral to earth, 0 volts. Check my meter's still working, 240 volts, yes it is. I am happy that I've got that secure, and it's the right circuit breaker locked off. I'm going to deglove for the fun of it now, make it easier to write. When I deglove, I'll actually pull them and leave them sit inside out for the time being, and it lets a little bit of that sweat dry off before I go putting them back on. Okay, I can now take some more of my details. So I know it's now circuit breaker number 3. It's a 20 amp C-curve type breaker. I don't have any board number to do, so there's enough detail there. And I'm going to draw my terminal box with my strip in the middle, and I'm just going to put red, black, earth. Not real complex enough for me to tell that it's right to how to reconnect. Don't need too much detail. Right, so I've proven that's safe. I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to lock out the isolator as well. I'm going to grab my danger tag that fell off from up here somewhere. I'm going to lock out the isolator as well. I'm going to tuck that key away in another pocket. Right, I'm ready to disconnect this. Need to make a bit of room. I'm going to open up my J-box over here. And I'm going to, all nice and easy, spade lugs, quick removal. I've actually staggered the lengths on these so that they should come out fairly easily without getting caught on the gland. And feed them in on the other side. Oh, did we fix this bit, James? No, I knew I'd forgot to do something. The apprentice made it too short. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay. I'll get the earth on, I'll get the neutral on. The active's not going to reach where it's got to go, so I'm just going to leave it there. It's safe, it's secure. I'll imagine I've left it connected. And I'm going to grab my other danger tag, and I'm going to danger tag that junction box. Tagged out. And there you go, Mrs. Smith, your hot water service is done. Waiting for the plumber to come and do what he's got to do. Disconnected. Disconnected. Fast forward, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Coming back to do the reconnection. Quick check. Yeah, I'm locked out. Yeah, I'm locked out. Okay, everything looks as I left it. I'll make sure right now. Yes, the new hot water service is the same details as the old one, so I'm right there. Okay. I need to test these conductors. So that means, what have I got to do? I've got to glove up. Hopefully they've dried out enough in that time frame. Turn them in the right way. Test the cuff. Stretchy stretch. Stretchy stretch. Roll them up and hopefully all my fingers will go in the right spot. Holding air, no visible cracks or splits. Check of them ones, they're okay. I'm going to glove up to test the conductors. Yeah, I could have popped the cover off with the gloves off still, but doesn't matter. Get my meter. Make sure she's working still. 240, very good. Earth to the active. 0. Neutral, 0, earth, 0, active to earth, 0, active to neutral, 0, and neutral to earth, 0. Recheck my meter, 240 volts. I'm happy that they're isolated and they're safe to touch. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to take the gloves off again. Right, so they're safe to touch. Before I connect the appliance, I'm going to do a couple of tests on the appliance itself. Recheck my meter, battery's still good. On the 3 ohm scale. Check me 0, it's holding 0. I'm going to go from where my earth wire is going to connect inside to a couple of spots on the frame to make sure that that is a good earthing point. I'm getting 0 ohms there, 0 ohms there, 0 ohms there, so I know that's a good earthing point. I'm going to change my meter up to the 500 volt, 200 meg ohm scale, make sure the meter's working, comes across to 0. I'm going to do an IR test from the appliance frame to the live conductors. To active, I'm getting greater than 200 million ohms, and to the neutral, I'm getting greater than 200 million ohms, just making sure anything, I've covered all bases. It's a hot water service, they need to tell me what its minimum expected is. The minimum requirement for a sheathed element in the hot water service is 0.01 meg, this is well above, it passes, the appliance is safe to reconnect. So, tested it, ready, everything's right, okay, I'm going to grab my conductors. Get rid of this danger tag out the road. Just stop that hanging down and annoying the hell out of me. And check my diagram. Earth over there. Neutral goes there. Active goes there. Happy they're all in the right spot. Throw the cover on. Before I go re-energise supply, I'm going to grab my IR tester once again, back on the 3 ohm scale. Make sure I'm still holding 0 and I've bumped it. And I'm going to test from my socket outlet earth to the earth on the appliance, and I'm looking for something under half an ohm. Then I know it should satisfy and I don't have to investigate any further. Okay, it's 0.0 something. I can't read that scale. It's 0. Couple of spots. 0, 0. So I know when I do reinstate power, if something does go wrong, circuit breaker should trip. Rightio, so we right to turn power back on, not going to upset anybody. Yes, cool, fantastic. I'm going to grab my key, come back to the switchboard. Probably use smaller locks. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to turn the power back on, and now I'm going to unlock my local isolator. Done in reverse order. Why? So that I'm there right at the unit when it's time to power back up and I can see what's happening. We'll turn on. Okay. Now I need to test and see if there's power at the unit. Guess what I've got to do? Check the gloves. One in the right way. Okay, stretchy test, cuff looks good. Beautiful. Roll them up nice and tight. Fingers have all popped out, holding air, no cracks, no holes. My leather one's still looking pretty good. I'm going to glove up. Grab my voltmeter. Stand out. Turn him on. Onto AC. Pop the cover off. And I'll do a typical student way, because this is how they all do it. They'll test their meter. Now I'm getting 240, and I'm going to test the works just because I can. 240 on the active, 0 on the neutral, 0 on the earth. Active to earth 240, active to neutral is 240, neutral to earth is 0. Meter's still working, 240 volts. There you go, Mrs. Smith. You should have hot water in a little while. Cover's back on. Cover's on. Grab all the candidates' information that they've written down with their danger tag, their JSA, staple it all up together with their assessment sheet. Thank you very much. I'm not quite sure how. These are, and dealing with the manufacturers, these are purpose-built leather outers for electrical work for. Now, the specs are on the bag. They're not a rigger's glove. I'm getting our students to use the purpose-built ones. I'd imagine we'd all have to go down that same path. Does a rigger's glove provide, all these are there for us to provide mechanical protection for the insulated gloves. There's my insulation protection. This is just to make sure that while I'm doing the screwdriver or whatever else the tools I'm using, I'm not going to wreck my insulation layer. Would a rigger's glove suffice? I suppose personally, yes, it probably would. But I can get these purpose-built, add the fact that, as I said, the manufacturer tells me the stitching on that in an arc blast should melt away and fall off your hands afterwards, so that you're not dealing with hot leather gloves on your hands. So I'd just be pushing that. That's what we use.